Have you ever felt trapped in the suffocating chains of emotional attachment? Struggling against a cycle that seems endless can leave you feeling powerless and imprisoned. But here's the good news. Change is not only possible, but also within your reach. Inspired by the timeless wisdom of the ancient Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, we will embark on a transformative journey towards mastering the art of detachment. In this video, we will explore essential principles to overcome a breakup and embrace liberating detachment through Stoicism. By delving into these powerful lessons, you will discover practical and healthy strategies to disconnect from people or situations that weigh on your mind and heart. It's time to break the chains of attachment and embrace a new sense of clarity and focus on what truly matters. Are you ready to embrace the power of personal growth and free yourself from the bonds of emotional attachment? Emotional attachment is like handing over the remote control of our emotions to others, allowing them to change the channel at will. This attachment can have a profound impact on our happiness, leaving us vulnerable to sadness and even leading us to make irreversible decisions that alter the course of our lives. However, it's crucial to understand that letting go does not mean caring less. On the contrary, it means placing everything in its rightful place, especially those things that are beyond our control. Would you like to learn how to let go of those unnecessary burdens and regain control of your emotional life? Well, get your pen and paper ready. Here are the best rules to learn how to emotionally detach from someone. Without further ado, let's begin. Rule number 10. Learn to recognize the emotional feeling of attachment. The first step to emotional freedom is understanding that attachment is an ego creation. The ego seeks external security and validation, clinging to people, things, and ideas to feel valued. Love, on the other hand, is our essence. It flows freely without the need for attachments. When we cling to someone from the ego, we condition our love, making it dependent on the presence or actions of the other person. It is essential to change our perspective and understand that our value is not tied to these attachments. Our essence, our core, is sufficient on its own. This understanding doesn't come overnight. It is a continuous journey of awareness and choice. We must prioritize our inner peace and seek internal validation rather than external. Letting go does not mean loving less. It means understanding better, staying true to our essence, and letting love guide us instead of fear. How to do it. Recognize attachment as an ego creation. Understand that your value is not tied to this attachment. Prioritize your inner peace and internal validation. Embrace the idea of abundance. Remember that letting go does not mean loving less. Embark on the journey towards detachment. This process requires dedication and patience. It is not a linear path. There will be ups and downs. However, every step you take towards detachment brings you closer to a fuller life, free from the weight of the ego and filled with the love that resides within you. Rule number 9. Ignore our ego. Our ego, in its quest for security and control, often deceives us with distorted illusions of reality. It makes us feel inadequate, convinces us that others' lives are always better, and drives us to seek constant external validation. This distorted view leads us to idolize other people, elevating them to an unattainable pedestal. To face this illusion, it is essential to build healthy self-esteem that nurtures your inner essence. Remember that you are incredible, special, and unique. Adopting this mindset does not mean belittling others or isolating yourself from the common human experience. It is recognizing that while everyone has their own path, no path is superior to another. Emotional detachment does not mean denying feelings or becoming indifferent. It's about embracing the abundance of the universe and the capacity to love, understanding that our completeness does not depend on someone's presence. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control, our perceptions, actions, and will. Rule number 8. Leave the past behind. The key point is to be willing to let go of the past. It's like holding onto a rope so tightly that it hurts your hands, but you're afraid to let go because you don't know what will happen. You must let go to extend your hands and reach for something even better. The fear of losing something is a trap. It's like being stuck watching everyone's highlight reels on social media while feeling like you're missing out. But that's not real life. When you stop comparing yourself to others and start living your own life, you realize that what you had lost didn't have as much influence over you. Emotional detachment is not about giving up on happiness, it's about defining your happiness on your own terms. Focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. Realizing that no opinion, past relationship, or brilliant filtered life on social media has the power to define your worth or happiness is fundamental. Rule number 7. Question the value of happiness. Where does true value come from? This question, when answered honestly, can free us from unnecessary attachments and lead us to an unprecedented state of emotional freedom. Understanding this is especially important when facing the challenge of letting go of someone who has been deeply rooted in our lives. The teachings of Stoicism offer valuable guidance in this process. It's not about cutting ties with malice or indifference, but recognizing that the deepest companionship we can have is the one we cultivate with ourselves. True value comes from our character, our wisdom, and how we treat others. Detachment is not about distancing ourselves from someone, but drawing closer to our true selves. By focusing on your own development, you cultivate a garden that flourishes regardless of who chooses to walk through it or admire its beauty. Rule number 6. Learn that nothing in life is eternal. In the vast universe of life, where time flows like an incessant river, nothing remains unchanged. Seasons change, flowers wither, and relationships, even the deepest and dearest, are also subject to the inexorable law of change. Accepting this does not mean resignation or indifference, but embracing the Stoic wisdom that teaches us to navigate the waters of impermanence with serenity and strength. Human relationships are woven with threads of temporality. Facing this reality allows us to approach it from a more Stoic perspective, cultivating resilience and acceptance. Rule number 5. Practice indifference to learn that you can live without that person. In the whirlwind of life where external circumstances seem to dictate our well-being, Stoic philosophy offers us a beacon of wisdom: indifference to what is beyond our control. Stoic indifference is not about apathy or disinterest, but a conscious attitude of not letting things we cannot control determine our mood or actions. By focusing on our circle of influence, we can direct our energy and effort towards what we can truly change. Stoic indifference encourages us to use the time and energy previously spent worrying about the uncontrollable to focus on our personal growth. Rule number 4. Reevaluate your attachment. Does that person align with you? Emotional detachment can be a liberating and transformative process that allows you to cultivate healthier and more meaningful relationships. Reflect deeply on your values, principles, and beliefs that guide your decisions, behaviors, and attitudes. How to reflect on your values. Spend time on introspection. Analyze your current relationships. Read about different values. Remember, emotional detachment is not about being cold or indifferent. It's about making conscious and responsible decisions that help you build a happier and more fulfilling life. Rule number 3. Work on emotional self-sufficiency to avoid dependence on others. Developing emotional self-sufficiency involves a journey of self-discovery and personal growth, where one learns to find satisfaction and joy within oneself. Emotional self-sufficiency does not mean isolating oneself from others, but recognizing that the responsibility for our happiness lies within ourselves. Benefits: establishing a solid foundation of self-esteem and confidence, enriching relationships with others, navigating challenges with a more centered perspective and less dependence on external factors. Rule number 2. Meditate and reflect. To achieve a healthy and effective emotional disconnection, it is essential to dedicate time to introspection and meditation. These practices allow us to cultivate a mental state of clarity and balance, fundamental for processing and releasing emotions that bind us to relationships or situations. Benefits: increasing emotional resilience, developing a greater understanding of our needs and desires, maintaining healthy and satisfying interpersonal relationships. Rule number 1. Taking care of yourself will help you immensely. Self-care is fundamental to establishing healthy emotional boundaries. This means nourishing your body with nutrient-rich foods, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. By taking care of yourself, you strengthen your emotional resilience and better equip yourself to handle the complexities of interpersonal relationships. For more tips like this, just subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. If you know someone who needs these tips, share this video to help them. You can help the Stoic family grow by also liking the video. That's all for today. See you in the next video.